Our mini project is based on big data analysis and its implementation on streaming industry and e-commerce industry. Big data analysis is a hot skill allowing developers to get hands-on patterns of information out of massive amounts of data. This has led to innovation on all sorts of industry, for example, finance, genomics, recommendation of data, etc. Google wouldn't even exist without this technique. Google developed and refined MapReduce in order to make sense of the entire internet. So we'll be running similar technique in our computer. We'll be using Python programming language in our examples. We'll focus on solving real data analysis problem using MapReduce. We'll be diving into millions of movie rating data gathered in MovieLens dataset and figured out how many 1 ratings, 2 ratings, 3, 4, and 5 ratings are there in total. Then we will analyze the total spendings of customers by looking at customer spending dataset. So what is MapReduce? MapReduce is a programming model implemented to take in large sums of data and provide useful insight based on industry's objective. So in our case, we'll be looking into how MapReduce is utilized in streaming industry utilizing MovieLens dataset. So, how does MapReduce work? MapReduce, we have a mapper and a reducer. Mapper basically takes the raw source data and parses it and extracts the info we care about into key value pairs. Then mapper automatically sorts and groups the map data. Then it's passed on to reducer, and reducer just processes each key value and output the result. So as you can see in our MovieLens dataset, we have user ID, movie ID, rating, and timestamp, and each of these data are processed, and it's processed, then it's sorted out, and once it's sorted out, it goes to reducer, then it outputs the result. So let's go ahead and look that in our code. This is Python, so we have already typed out our command to output a file to save time, and it's basically taking file and our data and parsing it together. And here it is, we have our results, and as you can see, we have 6,110 1 ratings, 11,372 ratings, and so on. And as you can see, 4 rating star is the most popular among all of them, with 34,174 ratings in total. And utilizing similar concept, we can find which movies are popular. So as we mentioned earlier, how MapReduce is utilized in various sectors. One of the most famous use is in e-commerce industry or algorithmic merchandising. They usually analyze spending of customers and reward them if they spend more, and so on. Let's go ahead and do that in our programming language. So here's our code, and as you can see, the code is very little, and you'll be surprised how much we can achieve with this amount of code. And here's our command, and like we said earlier, we have our spend by customer file and customer order record in our home directory. And as we run it, and within a few seconds, you have all the data that we require. And as you can see, our customer ID 0 spent $5,524.95, and customer ID 1 spent $4,958.60. And this is just an example. We can implement this kind of algorithm rhythm to find which customers spend the most, which customers spend the least, and based on that fact, you can set up some sort of reward system where customer who spends more gets certain percent back. And as we can see, these kind of algorithms has already been implemented in our current e-commerce industry.